I've gone through every WWE 2K video game ever released, and I'm going to pick what I believe was the best new feature of each game. Many were tough to choose, some for having so many great new features, and one game, well, being WWE 2K20. So now I've made my choices, so let's get right into the first game of the WWE 2K era, WWE 2K14. Kicking things off with a legendary feature from WWE 2K14 that is still talked about today by many fans within the WWE 2K community, and that is Defeat the Streak. Imagine stepping into the ring against The Undertaker at WrestleMania whilst he was on his legendary streak, and having the monumental task of snapping his insane 21-0 streak. A winning streak that he isn't going to give up easy. It's truly what made Defeat the Streak stand out, that unique, almost cinematic level of difficulty to defeat him. The Undertaker in this mode wasn't just any old difficult opponent on hard settings, he seriously was a nightmare come to life. Truly final boss level stuff. At any moment, the lights could cut out with the arena going into darkness before he appeared right behind you, so he could get a free hit in, usually a finisher. Get too close whilst he's on the ground and you'll find yourself trapped in his Hell's Gate submission finisher. This mode required a new level of strategic thinking, unlike any other time you faced off against an AI in a WWE game. It will really feel like you have to outsmart and outlast the dead man whilst avoiding his sneaky tricks. Defeat the Streak will remain a unforgettable and unmatched mode in the WWE 2K series. WWE 2K15 was the big debut of WWE 2K on next generation console, the PS4 and Xbox One. After much anticipation and excitement, 2K15 would release to mixed reviews and disappointment. Fans would rightfully express frustrations over the missing features from the leap from WWE 2K14 to WWE 2K15, and for that 2K15 has gone down in infamy rather than being the epic jump in generations. Now, it wasn't all bad. Showcase was fun and the visuals looked pretty awesome. But what really impressed me was some of the changes to the gameplay. 2K15 did feel like that big leap forward in terms of simulation-based gameplay, especially in the selling aspects. This was a game that introduced much loved features such as tired pins and tired finishers, which added that extra bit of drama to matches in WWE 2K. There was also these small little details added to selling, like different animations for climbing up the turnbuckle when tired, for example. Was it the best new feature ever? No. We've had selling aspects in WWE games as far back as WrestleMania 2000 on the N64, but WWE 2K15's efforts still deserve the recognition, as they really pushed it further than any other WWE game before it, and pushed how much could be done to improve simulation-based gameplay as WWE 2K entered a new generation. WWE 2K16 was on a mission to right the wrongs of 2K15, and one of the things they did was take a look back at what had been done in other WWE games to find out what could be the feature to bring back. With many of the 2K14 features being off the table for reasons that are still not explained to this day, a choice was made to bring back the Breakout system, a system that had only ever been seen in the Raw series of WWE games, which were only on the original Xbox. Breakouts like the original feature in Raw 1 would allow the player to say, "Screw this, I ain't waiting," during an opponent's entrance, and completely disrupt it with a pre-match beatdown to get the early advantage. It was a fun addition to the game and a nice callback to the Raw series all those years earlier. Once again, WWE 2K was continuing their quest of not bringing back the missing features from 2K14, but instead going back to the history books once again to bring back something to the series. This time it was something that had been highly requested, that being the return of taking the fight to the backstage from the ring. This had not been a thing since Here Comes the Pain, so as you can imagine, fans were super excited to see it finally be added, with WWE 2K adding a more simulation twist to it. The addition of going backstage had been a long wait, and this was a decent start. Now let's be honest, there's some people who hear the commentary in current WWE games and would refuse to believe the change to Corey Graves, Byron Saxton and Michael Cole was a good one, but please, go back to WWE 2K17 and listen to some of the commentary on that game.
If he keeps this up, this could be over quick. Wow! If he keeps this up, this could be over quick.
Whoa, get out.
And that implement connects again. Oh my, get the medics down here.
Just look at this.
Oh, not again, not again.
Was WWE 2K18's perfect? No, but it was a work in progress that was so badly needed. And with games like 2K24, you can really hear the difference. But seriously, go back to those early WWE 2K games and listen to the commentary. Trust me, you'd want this trail back after just a few minutes of hearing and remembering the incoherent rambling of the past commentary. WWE 2K19 was a fantastic game, and one of the reasons it was so good was because of the additions to the game. One of the additions which wasn't that well received was the Towers mode. Towers was basically a gauntlet of matches, similar to an arcade ladder that has been seen in fighting games such as Mortal Kombat. Win the match, advance to the next one. It was fairly criticised for not having much meat to the mode. It felt like you was just playing a bunch of matches for the sake of it, with no fun additional reasons to play through it. That was for all but one tower, which felt like it was worth playing, that being the $1 Million Tower. This was a brutal challenge where you had to play as cover star AJ Styles to defeat all 15 superstars within, whilst retaining all health damage. And on top of that, you'd have to face a golden AJ Styles at the end of the tower. This was a really fun concept, especially with the whole $1 million to whoever beat the tower and got picked. It gave WWE 2K that competitive esports type of feel that it never really had before, and was a true challenge that many had failed. Would this be everyone's choice of best new feature? Unlikely, but it feels to me like it's worthy of a mention for being something genuinely unique to the series. And to be honest, I want to talk about actual new features too, and not just returning things. From choosing a more unexpected best new feature in 2K19 to now picking nothing. Yes, that's right. I've decided to choose nothing for 2K20. And that isn't just to be like funny because of the whole 2K20 sucks thing. I feel like I'd be lying to everyone if I tried to pick something from this game, because this game was all about the dev team trying their absolute hardest to somehow tape together a completely broken engine to ship out a game that can kinda work, I guess? Kinda? Not really? So as you can imagine, 2K20 was not really about exciting new features. It felt more like the selling point was we actually managed to release this game in a super broken but not so broken it doesn't turn on kind of broken. So yeah, the new features were almost non-existent, and to be honest, I'd have to do a ton of reaching to convince you that this game had a best new feature. So nearly 2.5 years pass until the next game, thanks to 2K20 being a complete disaster. But thanks to 2K22 being a pretty decent release, we're now back to having a best new feature once again. His main new feature was of course MyGM, and in all honesty, MyGM in 2K22 was kind of meh. 2K22's is just way too underdeveloped to consider being the best new feature in the game. That brings us to the true game changer of a brand new addition to this series, cross-platform community creations. This is literally the reason we had been getting the awesome locked content over the years, like character models, entrance motions, and taunts, just to name a few. So it would feel totally wrong not having this awesome feature as my best new feature for WWE 2K22. The WWE 2K series had a long run of games to not feature a brand new match type, but that was sure made up for in WWE 2K23 with the addition of the War Games match. I can say with confidence that this is one of my favourite match type additions to the series ever, and it brought with it a ton of replay value because of how fun it was just having a War Games match every now and then. It also helped how well made the match type was, felt pretty much perfect and like what you'd expect to see with a match on WWE TV. And to go completely full circle to end this video, I'm going to go with Special Guest Referee as the best new feature in WWE 2K24, after being removed all the way back in WWE 2K15. This is the ultimate version of Special Guest Referee, which is why it deserves a mention here. It has all the features from past versions of Guest Referee, and then adds a ton more of small details that really adds to the experience, like being able to even play as actual referees, and also being able to turn on and off the ability to get thrown out of the match for being too biased as the referee. Pretty much everything was thought about and included in this version of guest referee. The only thing really missing was other match types to have special guest refereeing, like Hell in a Cell matches. But other than that, pretty much everything was included in this match type, which is why it is my best new feature in WWE 2K24. Now everyone, it's your turn. Let me know in the comments your favourite new feature from every WWE 2K game, and I'll make sure to check them out. Thanks as always for watching everyone, and I'll see you all in the next video.